Hello everyone. It's Maddie with SpectrumArtCreations.com. And today we're going to be making a super fun, quick, easy project. It's one that you can mass produce. It's one that you can do for every season or occasion, whether it's, a christening, a baby shower, a wedding, a Valentine's Day, Christmas, fall, you name it, just because it can be adapted to any theme that you want. The other fun part about this project is that you can do it using 6x6s. We're going to be using the Woodland collection, the 6x6 from Little Birdie. Super fun. It is a stationery holder. Okay, it's a gift set stationery holder. It is embellished, of course, on all sides, but this is my prototype. So here's the fun part. We're going to be using this Woodland. However, know that you can make this with any collection. You can do this with scraps maybe that you have from some 12x12s. You can do it with 6x6s, 8x8s. So again, that opens it up to any paper line that you might have in your stash or scraps. Now, inside of here is where it's really fun. It's going to have this little box holder, which right now mine is empty, by the way. I did not make the stationery to go in the box yet, but we will. So it has a really nice shape box. This is my prototype. And one thing that I've learned is now this one I threw in a box. It's been sitting here for a while waiting for us to do this craft along. But I noticed that one thing that would have been great would have been maybe to reinforce the spine, but if, that depends also on the thickness of your paper and maybe reinforce these sides if you really want it to stand the test of time. However, it is fine just the way it is. So if you have some nice cardstock and then again some nice heavy kind of paper, then you're going to be fine. So this is 250 GSM, which is really nice and thick. Now, some of you got the kit, and if you received the kit, see, it's 250. It's super thick, which really helps because again, I threw this in a tub and threw all kinds of stuff on top of it for months on end. And yeah, I got a little crushed, but obviously I did abuse it. Some of you got the kit, and if you did, you got half of the pad of the Woodland collection, which is all that you're going to need to create this. And you'll even have some leftovers. I'll show you that in a second. You also received a primed chipboard heart piece from Little Birdie. Again, that's that. You received the floral cluster as well, which is this piece right here. All the embellishments that you see are in the pad itself, in the papers that were included, which hopefully you've had a chance to look at. See, they're all here. So all the little tags, the little banners, this little birdie doily is somewhere in here. Let's see if I can find it really quick. Oh heavens. Oh, I just saw it. I just saw it. Oh, here's some ephemera, which we're going to be using throughout. Oh, I'll show you. I just saw the doily. Did I not just see it? I did. Did you guys see it? These papers are so thick. There we go. There's a whole set of beautiful little doilies. Super adorable. And then you also received, you got to pick whichever die you wanted. So you got one of these. And you also received this template right here, 2-page template. So we're going to be working with that to create our base. The cool thing also with this is once you have the instructions and you have the template, you can recreate it again and again and again and again. It's never ending as to how many times you can recreate this. Okay, now with that said, if you do not have the kit, again, no worries. Follow along. Go pull out a collection, pull out a piece of chipboard, pull out some flowers, pull out, your dies. If you do not have any of this and you would like to purchase it, including the template, it is available. If you cannot find it in our online store, you can always email me. I'll pop the email right here for you so that you guys can go ahead and email me and say, hey, I would like that template, or hey, I can't find those dies, or whatever the case may be. Sorry about that. I forgot to silence my phone. Speaking of the online store, right? Because we have, like, you might have everything but the dye. Well, we have amazing dyes available. You might have even that, and you're like, oh, but you know what? I don't have any chipboard. We have amazing chipboard available, as well as flowers and paper line collections. So anything you need, guess what? It is in the online store, plus thousands of products more. So we do hope that you'll go ahead and check that out. Okay, are we ready to jump in? You're going to need some additional small things, such as adhesive of choice, of course. If you want to add some dimension to anything, you might want some dimensional foam. You might want some sari silk. Yes, we do sell the sari silk in our online store as well. But you might want some kind of trim to either, tie this or even tie this. You can also alter it. Remember, I always tell you guys, the first one is the prototype. After that, your ideas will start to flow and you will make it your own, including reinforcement, or why not a magnet, right? We can do a magnetic closure here. We could. You're going to need distressing inks if you wish to ink up your edges. Any ink pad will do, your favorite. We have plenty of ink pads as well in store. And then a circle punch for your notching. Or you can always just freehand it, because I have given you that measurement. If you want to use a punch to just kind of do your paper as well as your template, then that's great. Okay, are we ready to jump in? Enough chit chat, right? Oh, I know what else I wanted to show you. So after I had done mine, okay, after I had done all of this, covered all the sides, this is what I had left. I wanted to show you that you are going to have enough left to create the cards that are going to go in here. I just didn't do it yet. That go in there, so that you have a complete set. Okay, so you have all this ephemera and you have paper left, and then you have all of these little pieces, and this is where the magic is going to happen. Yes, we have tags and more ephemera that we can use, but all of these are not wasted. So I tell you this as a preface to remind you that when you are going to be tempted to, like, throw away these little scraps, and we normally would, we're not going to, because this is where this magic is going to come in. Let me show you this really quick so that you guys kind of get an idea. But my point is, don't throw your scraps away. Of course, if it's like, itty bitty, you can throw it away. But I mean, look, any of this can be used for, for our card bases. So anything that is about this size and bigger, go ahead and save. Okay. All right. All right, let's go ahead and clean up and let's get started. Okay, we're going to start by cutting this apart. You can just tear it apart. I mean, just kind of pull the paper clip, because this piece up here does not matter. But I'm just going to use my stapler remover. I can't remember if we stapled yours. Might have. If we did, again, we're going to cut this off anyway, so it wouldn't have made a difference. We're going to do a really good job at cutting this out, because this is going to be the template that we're going to keep forever, to redo this project over and over again. I'm going to leave this in real time so that we can do it together. And I'm going to go really, really slow. Now, mind you, when I get to the end, I do not close my scissor. What do I mean? That if I'm not going to do this and let it create that contact, okay? I'm going to cut and then always keep my scissor open, okay? So I'm going to leave this in real time, as I was saying, so that we can cut this together. Try and cut it as best as possible. Now, mind you, this is really simple because it's all pretty much straight cuts, right? See, I'm cutting super slow. Usually I would just chop, 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 right? And then I would speed up through this part, but I'm not going to, because I want you guys to not have to keep pausing. You can do it with me. How's that? Maybe a little longer video, but That's okay. Now, mind you, when I get here, I could just cut straight, but what I'm going to do, because it doesn't hurt, is I'm going to leave this piece. So actually, I'm going to do it like this. How's this? We're going to come up to here, to where the line is, and then we're just going to cut like so. Okay? See what I've done there? Where is it attached? Okay, like that. I'm just going to leave that little piece there. Now, mind you, I come in and then as I get closer, I can wiggle just to make sure that I align my scissor really well with wherever my line is. So by the time I get here, I am perfectly aligned, okay? Oh, being stubborn today, huh? Yeah. And what I should do is put on my new glasses. So I got new glasses. They are, now I need, what are they called? Bifocals? Yes. Yeah, I think so. Bifocals. They used to be, I guess, the ones that had the line, but now they have the the way they do them now is you don't have that line that splits it. Instead, you have like different zones, I guess. Um, and they kind of like transition. I don't want to say transitionals because then that's those are the ones that turn dark, right? In the sun. Transitions, yeah. No, I don't want to say that. But anywho, I got new glasses and yeah, they did say it was going to take a little getting used to, which I agree. But the biggest hurdle I've had is that they slide off my nose. So I know from Madison that they need to, I guess, bend the little ear. Yeah, the back of the earpiece, um, so that it stops sliding down my nose. Because that really makes me dizzy. Like I'll be okay, and then all of a sudden it just slide off my nose, and then I'm blurry again, and yeah, it's giving me a headache. So I'm not wearing them because not because I'm being stubborn, but because I don't want to deal with that. So I have to go in and have them adjusted. But I know it sounds crazy that you're like, come on, seriously, that takes like 15 minutes. It's probably a walk-in, no appointment needed. I know, but I haven't had a chance. Now, in this case, we don't need this part right here. We don't even need really this part right here. What we're after, believe it or not, is this piece right here. The reason why I did it this way is because of the fact that it doesn't fit in a regular printer. I could have printed it in a 12 by 12, right? But then when you guys want to do your cuts, it wouldn't have worked out either. So anywho, I ended up doing two A4s because I figure most people have A4 cardstock for sure in their stash. You see that I was just off by just a smidge. You see? Look here. Like I was short. Where is it? There. Let's line this up. I was short that much. Like, what's that, an inch? And it would have fit. I could have minimized the project, but I really like the size. Anyway, be it what it be it what it may, I just wanted to kind of tell you why you ended up with two pieces that almost look identical. And you're thinking, that's kind of odd. Well, that's why. So really, what we really need from this piece right here is only this flap. So if you want to cut just the flap, go for it. You do not need to cut all this. If you want to cut all this to just reinforce that, you can, so it becomes a thicker template. So when we go to trace it, you know, it's thicker. It's more like a stencil, right? Because I did print these in pretty heavy cardstock on purpose. Not too heavy because, I know that I struggle with my hands. So I didn't want to give you guys something that was going to hurt your hands to cut. Although really the template, we're only going to cut once. We're not going to cut this multiple times. Not from this heavy cardstock. All right, I'm going to speed up just a smidge because you guys might not even be cutting all of this. You just might be cutting maybe this piece, right? But I figure I'll show you if you want to line them up, reinforce it even thicker, you most certainly can. You have the material, right? So you might as well use it if you want. And again, if you don't, all you're going to do is cut this flap. See how we left that other piece here, which is going to help us align? You just cut right there. That's it, right here, and then glue that there, and you're done. So I'm just making more work for the sake of making more work. You don't have to. I guess I always like to give options. I figure if I give you guys options, then you can choose whatever is most convenient for you, whatever you think will work best. Again, these are pretty straightforward. Okay, let's speed this up. I think everyone's probably caught up with me and done, right? You're probably all going, wow, she cuts really slow. Not really. I'm a very fast cutter. Okay, so now if you want, line this up, adhere this together. It all lines up perfectly. And now this part is thicker, right? Don't need to. All you have to do is cut this flap off. And you know, you can even do something with this other side. Don't throw it away. I mean, it's a really cool project right there. You know, you can fold it and then fold these flaps and maybe spray it with some stuff. You know, doesn't have to be waste. Okay, we're going to take this and we're going to adhere it again, lining it up like so. And look at how simple that is. Use whatever preferred glue you have. What do I have handy? I have my pink petunia. I also have my Arbor Marlene. I was actually looking for my glue stick, which has vanished. Oh, oh well. Okay, moving on. I wanted my Tombow glue stick. I probably took it somewhere to do something with it. All right, we're going to glue this here like so. I'm going to use my bone folder just to make sure I have some really nice, again, this is going to be my forever keeper, right? So I want to make sure I really have great contact and it looks nice and clean. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to go get a hole punch. Again, if you do not have a die or a circle round punch, that's this size. Now, mind you, that's just the size that I gave it. Nothing says that you have to make it that size. If you have a different size and you want it bigger, deeper, narrower, whatever, that's totally up to you. Just grab your nesting dies. Again, we have a lot of circle nesting dies. They start like that big and they go all the way down to like this size. I'm not kidding. It's like 16 of them. But we also have hole punches. So let me, circle punches. Let me get a couple of choices. Okay, let's see what we've got. We've got a 2-incher, we've got a 2.5, and we've got a 1.5. So I just grabbed the first three. So you could just decide that this is what you want. Maybe that's a big enough notch. By the way, I don't know why, if it's an optical illusion, but for some reason, I almost feel like this is off. This is the best ruler in the world. Let me show you this real quick. So on this side, it's got inches, but you see those little markings? Oh my gosh, they're so amazing. So they have like 7/8 and 16ths. And I mean, like you have down to like, you know, the smallest measurement without having to figure out any math or fractions. I love that. But the other magical side is this. If you flip it over on this side, you see it? It starts with 0, then it'll open up to 1 on both sides, then 2, then 3, then 4, and still have all of those little markings in between. So when you want to find your center, you simply place the ruler down. You look at the oh, why am I in the glare? 1 second. Okay, I placed my, nope, still in the glare. Sorry, guys. So here's my 0. Here's my 2. Here's my 2. And all I have to do is kind of start sliding until I can see, like this is 2 1/4. Nope, 2 1/4 is off. So slide back. And right there is my center. It is 2 5/16. I found that in 2 seconds. No math. So 2, in case you want to mark yours, 2 5/16 is center. And look at that. It is off. My apologies. So again, this is your template. So go ahead and mark it. I knew it looked kind of off. Let me make sure. How odd. It doesn't look off on the, well, how on earth did I manage that? Oh, sorry guys. Give me 2 seconds just to figure out what happened. And making sure I'm not telling you something crazy. 2 3/8. No? Wow, that one looks straight. How weird. I don't know. I don't know. But I'm glad we fixed it. 2 5/16. Yep. Don't know how it scanned a little crooked. But now I know that this is my center. So again, I can grab my punch and decide if this is the size that I want. I think I want a bigger notch. I like that wider one. So I'm going to slide this and then I'm going to punch. And now that is the correct one. So again, my apologies. Actually, that one was wider too. Well, this is good. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, done. Done, done, and done. By the way, another suggestion. If you are afraid of miscutting or mispunching, you can go ahead and make copies of the template before you punch. So you can do like 2 3 copies just in case something goes wrong and you're like, oh my gosh, I just messed up my master. Well, don't worry, it's okay. Go ahead and create copies. Now, of course, you have my permission to create copies for your personal use, obviously not for sharing and not for selling. That goes without saying, right? Okay, that's done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. We are not going to do anything else to this yet. We are going to go ahead and grab some cardstock and go ahead and start creating our base now. So let's go grab some color cardstock. Again, whatever you think it coordinates with what you're using. For this one, I use like this rusty color, really cool, like little orange, peachy, rusty color, because I thought it really brought out those oranges on there. It could have been black, it could have been white, it could have been craft, it could have been teal, green. I mean, you pick. I think for the sake of the video, you already have the sample, right? So why would I make that again? You've seen it and I can show it to you up close so that you know what pages I picked. However, for this other one, I think I'm going to change it up. Let me go find a paper line that I want to use, and then let me go ahead and also get some cardstock. We'll be back. Okay, so I have decided on this new Esprit de Voyage from Ciao. If you haven't seen this line, oh my goodness. And I thought it was so different because, you know, we did the whole, I did the floral and the birdies. So to give you a different perspective, we'll go with something like this. And it's an 8x8 too, so that you could see that you can use other sizes as well. Isn't that gorgeous? Just gorgeous. Super beautiful, stunning collection. If you like rust and patina and, you know, still you have your butterflies, you have your hummingbirds, but if you like crackle and rust and old maps and, oh, look at that. And gears. Yeah, this is a gorgeous line. And so typically I would think I would go with a black base for this. But since black would be pretty impossible to see online, I'm going to select this instead. It's just a lighter blue. You know, I didn't want to go white because, but this you should be able to see on screen. So let's go ahead and get cranking. First thing we're going to do now that we've all got our papers ready, is we're going to be tracing this. Okay, now, excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. We're going to be tracing this. So what you want to do is you probably want to line this up. You can even clip this in if it helps you any to stabilize it. So again, just so I don't have to cut up here, I'm just going to line this up here straight. And actually to come more this way, then line it up here and then clip that. If you want to clip over here, I still didn't come far enough. I'm just trying to save myself a couple of extra cuts by lining. Boy, oh boy. Sorry, I'm gonna have to stand it up because I'm apparently challenged if I have it facing flat. There. And all I did was kind of tap it so that this would line up and clip this one down. And this one. Okay, so we've got something like this. And then we're going to grab our pencil and we're going to trace our template like so. Okay. I'm going to try and like really press down. So you guys, I should probably use a marker. I hope that this is dark enough that you guys can see it. If not, I'll come back and retrace it with a marker. We're going to trace this side. Again, we're going to run out of, out of paper here. We know that already, right? I'm pressing down hard on those pencil markings. You will go light on yours, of course, because you're not trying to show anybody on camera what you're doing, but I'm purposely deepening my lines. Now, we're not going to remove it yet because it's super important that we mark our score lines, okay? So these are score lines right here, or they're going to be. So maybe I could use a different color marker or something for you guys. Let's see. Green, would green show up? Highlighter. So this right here, these are score lines. This right here, this right here is a score line. Let me highlight them for you guys. Oh, that doesn't show up at all. Let's try. I mean, it's really bright for me, but nope, the camera just kind of makes it disappear. Let me get a red. Okay, I don't have a red marker for some reason. I always have a red highlighter. And now it's gone. Somebody borrowed it probably. What other color could I use? I have a red pen. Let's try that. I don't think you guys will see this on screen. It needs to be very bright. No, I just darkened it. What can I do for you guys to be able to see this? Nothing. Let's try blue. I've tried every color now. All right. I think you guys get the idea. This right here is it's going to be a fold line. This one right here also obviously is going to be a fold line, right? Oh, it's better with blue. Oh, that's so odd. This one right here. So all of these, you don't need to do this. I'm just going to show you so you guys understand what's going to happen. You don't need to do this at all, okay? Don't you worry about this part. I just want to give you a visual. I know I'm very visual, so if somebody can show it to me, then I'm like, oh, okay, I get it, I get it, I get it, I get it. For some, you might be like, well, yeah, that's obvious, Maddie. That's okay. Let me just kind of make sure that we're all on the same page. So be patient with me while I kind of highlight those. Okay, so those are going to be score lines, right? Now, obviously on my template, I can see it, but once I remove this template, so here, let me show you what I mean. Oh, actually, let's do it up here. If I remove this now, you've got that, but you do not have, see, there's no fold line here. Now, technically, you could just put your ruler from here to here and trace it, but you've already got the lines, so you could just also create little ticks like this so you don't forget, you know, following these right here as to where they're going to go. Okay, I do them all? Nope. I'll do one here as a reminder and one here as a reminder, and then I'll remove it. And now we can take a look and see what I mean. So looking here, I have my template, and now I can see that from here to here. See, you wouldn't have been able to see that without those tick marks. These possibly you could just figure out from corner to corner, right? But this one right here, you wouldn't have. So it's a really good thing to make those. And then you're going to take your ruler and your ball stylus. Okay, you do not need a scoreboard or anything else. Simply from there to here, and you're going to, and you can even go past. So see, I purposely went past. Oh, please show up. There you go. Can you see it? I went past that point. And then I'm going to do it here as well. We do have metal rulers that are great for scoring. I don't know why I'm not using it. Here, let's use the metal ruler. We're going to do it here as well, again from corner to corner. And then we're going to do it here on the flaps. So this one right here, right? We have that pencil line, and we put little tick marks just in case, and here as well. So we're going to do both flaps. Move down just a little bit. You move it down just a smidge to, you know, allow for some space for your ball stylus, right? So you don't want to be right on the line. You want to be right, like, I mean, a smidge underneath. So I just kind of tap it some more, tap it on this side, and then score, and then do it again here. And now we have all of our score lines on our base. Again, moving it down just a smidge. Okay. Okay, so now you should have something that is scored like this. Scored, 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 scored. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to cut this out. But now this is really our base. That's just our original. That's the one that we get to keep and use over and over again. Again, your pencil marks won't be this bad, so you shouldn't have a whole lot of erasing to do. But, you know, if you do, you know, and I might not even erase these because I might just, you know, when I ink up my edges, guess what? They're just going to disappear anyway. They're just going to blend into my inking. And this is going to give us our pocket, with the exception that we need one more little piece for the flap. Remember, this is just one little bit shy of the full closure. I'm trying to angle it so you guys can see what I'm doing. I hope it's visible in camera, but I think it's pretty straightforward, right? We're just doing the exact same thing we did before with the template, just cutting our shape out, our pocket. Okay, and then this way, and you see how now I didn't have to cut this and I didn't have to cut this because I lined it up with my paper, and so it's just less to cut. Anytime I can save time, I will. You know, I'd rather spend time decorating or doing other stuff. Okay, good. And again, I do not have to cut this. I could just bring my notcher, but I mean, just the same circle punch if I want, but if you want to do it by hand, you are, hang on, I'm going to angle this so I can see it, guys. Sorry. It is easy enough to freehand it. If when you're doing your circle, because remember, you're going to have to move it again, my apologies that the template was not centered. I do not know how that happened. When you do this, if you do not, you're like, well, Maddie, I do not have a circle punch, and now your hole is crooked. Now what do I do? Hang on one second. No, it's fine. I just, I'm serious. It's an optical illusion. Well, you know what? In that case, grab a coffee cup, right? Grab something, put it on there, and trace it, and then just cut it out. So that's another easy way of doing this. Okay, so now that we've got this, we can come in. We've done our scoring. See, it's all done already. Grab your bone folder. Either either one of the Teflons are really amazing. We have all kinds of different bone folders, but the Teflon ones, oh my gosh, what a difference they make. This one, and of course, my favorite is this one right here. This is the ergonomic one. It's so good for my hands. Like, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I struggle with my fingers at times. I guess the beauty of age, right? First, I'm talking about my new glasses. Yay. And I'm talking about my hands. Oh, heavens, I'm aging myself. That's all right. Age is a blessing. Why? Because it means that I got to this age. You know, every day is a new gift. Nothing to complain about. Don't complain about graves or anything else because it just means you got to live one more day that you might have not had. Okay, so here is our box. Now you notice this is going to be great, right? And this is our little top here. But now what? Because we're short. Well, that's this little piece. Remember that we had to cut bonus. So you can find maybe even a scrap. You know what? That'll work. Look at that. I can use a scrap. So since I marked this one all up, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to line it up. See how it kind of stops right there? I don't even have to figure it out. If I press down here on the table, it kind of stops itself from going any further than it needs to. I'm just going to place that down and trace with my pencil. I didn't even clip it. It's kind of small, so it's quick and easy. Again, we obviously know it's going to be from corner to corner, but I'm going to put a little tick on there just to help myself as a reminder. I didn't highlight that in blue for you guys, so let me do that now, just so our template is put away as a reminder. Hey, don't forget, you know, this is a good tip. Highlight yours so that whenever you're doing the next one, you always have that reminder. Oh yeah, that's in red, or that's, you know, bright green. Why? Well, because I'm supposed to do something with it, right? Okay, then we're going to grab our ruler here again. Ball stylus tool. Tap, tap. Just a smidge. Score. And we're going to cut. And so out of 184, we got our pocket. No waste. And you can do it, you know, with regular A4 paper. You do not have to have a 12 by 12. If you have a 12 by 12, then awesome. We have, you know, 12 by 12s that are also solid, the solid pads. So you could just use that, right? Okay, move all this to the side. Now we have our flap. So we're going to open this up, and you can decide whether you want to put it on the outside or on the inside. That's totally up to you. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go on the outside because I think it's going to look a little bit better. So I've opened this up. Again, the notch is on my left-hand side. My incomplete flap is on my right. I'm going to add my adhesive of choice. On here. And simply bring over the flap and adhere it. And it all kind of lines itself up nicely, doesn't it? it does it for you. Okay, we're going to burnish that down. Show we have a good crease. And then we're going to fold this flap and we're going to burnish that down. And now we have, oops, overglued. That's okay. It's going to be on the inside. We won't be able to see that. We now have our little box. How awesome is that? Okay, now, like I mentioned before, you have choices. If you feel that this is not sturdy enough, we are going to add paper, okay? But if you feel that this is not sturdy enough, feel free to reinforce it. You don't even have to reinforce it on the outside. You can reinforce it on the inside. You might even be able to use some of your scraps if you want, or if you have some leftover chipboard, let me get some and I'll show you what I mean. So of course, my favorite chipboard is Graphic 45 and I use it a lot. Can you tell? For all kinds of projects, and these are just leftover pieces. So I loved saving these little strips, and this is in one of our zipper bags too. I love saving these little strips because see, look, they come in handy. So if I want to, I can just adhere this to the inside. Again, no one will see it, so I don't even have to worry about finishing it off, and then be able to do that. So let's do some of those. Just because the other one I didn't, I think this one we can. And it doesn't even matter what color it is because, again, no one's going to see it. It'll be on the inside. If you feel like, you know, making it super pretty, then you go ahead. You can certainly cover it on the inside, but that's a matter of preference. So this one, I think, a little short. Not that we couldn't add two pieces together. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open it back up. Now I'm on the inside, right? So this is now my, let me move this out of the way. Now my notch is now on my right hand side. So now I'm going to grab my little piece of, and again, this is like overkill, guys. This is just Maddie being extra, right? Not needed at all. As you can see, it's held, and it's held inside of a box with all kinds of stuff being thrown on top of it. I have a big old tub of projects to come, you know, that I'm like, oh yeah, I need to work on that, you know? And then I kind of throw all the stuff in there, whether it's a paper line or whatever, I throw it all in there. And then as I have time, like today, I kind of just grab from the box and go, yeah, I need to do this one next, and I need to do that one. So this is going to reinforce, and again, I'm always checking just to make sure that it is looking at it. I'm able to fold. Don't worry about the extra. We're going to cut it here. We can do it now in case you're wondering. So I'm just simply going to fold here. What's the easiest way? This way probably. And snip. So I don't need to measure. I just need to snip it off. A little extra piece here. There we go. Okay, so that one's off. Now let's do this one. Okay. And this is going to make like a super, super strong box, right? Like that's almost like an album type of a box now. But if you have the extra little pieces, why not? Okay, that's good. And these are all just leftovers. So I don't usually save like really, really, really like tiny pieces because, you know, I mean, forget it, right? I probably need just a room for all those pieces. It would definitely be a lot more than what I put in that bag times 100. So I don't usually save the small pieces, but when there is something like these that I know, oh, if I make mini albums or if I'm doing something tiny like this, these are great for spine reinforcements, I will save those. But like these that are on the table now, I won't save those. Those will go in the trash. So these are obviously trash. Okay, so now my box is like super sturdy, right? So that's one option. Oh, you know what? We could add one up here, but since this we are going to see like a lot, right? It's going to be something that's going to get open, and we're going to ink this up, so I'm not worried about it. You know, this one I am going to end up covering. So let me see if I have a really, really skinny one, or maybe just some of these reinforcements. I'm sorry, Madison's making announcements. Give me 1 second. Okay, let's use maybe a trimmer. How wide is this right here? And again, I'm going to add decorative anyway too, so it's going to be multi-layered, but this is 4 5/8. Is this 4 5/8? 4 5/8. Well, look at that. It's almost like perfect. And then we have a width of 3/4. So I'm going to go just a little hair shy of the 3/4, just because I don't want to have any issues with it folding. Making sure that it feels comfortable, nothing is clicking or clanking. That feels really good. Okay, and you know what? I could probably even reinforce it with 2 if I want to. I might have just enough for another one. Uh-oh, don't bubble. There we go. I love this trimmer because you know, again, I don't do math. So if you're going to give me markings, by all means, make it like dummy proof, please. So that Maddie can just do things in a zip kind of manner, right? Yeah, before finding out all these, I used to, oh my gosh, I used to dread watching videos that had, you know, that would talk about 16ths and 8ths, and I'd be like, oh my goodness, why? You know, it was just awful. I had such a hard time. Then again, of course, math was never my strong suit. Almost everybody that knows me. And you know what? I could have even sandwiched one of these in between 2 of the blue ones, right? But again, super overkill. Um, what is that? I have a little hair here. What happened? Um, for those of you who know me, you know I have dyslexia, and yeah, so I would avoid anything that had like fractions and all that, like the plague. You know, if people could speak in, you know, just halves, 3/4 and quarters, I was okay. But the moment anyone started talking, uh, you know, all these crazy measurements, my eyes would just glaze over. I was done. I was like, okay, they lost me. That's it. So yeah, anytime now that I can find those, I am all in because I do not want to figure it out. Okay, there we go. Super strong, sturdy box. Wow, that thing is solid now. Okay, so now we've got this piece done, right? Awesome sauce. Again, if you want to change it up and do any kind of a different closure or whatever, you know, this is the time to go ahead and take care of that. Of course, if you are going to do a magnetic closure, you do not want to have a notch. Hang on 1 second. I just realized this pencil mark is really deep. So I'm just going to get rid of that. And now we're going to be making our base. Now, for the base, you'll notice once again that I've tried to design it all so that it is exactly, you know, it's workable with a, with an A4. However, if we can score a 12 by 12, which I think most of us do, you could also give it a little bit extra, but you do not have to. So let me clean up and we're going to move on. I'll just kind of put a pause in here because sometimes I'm afraid of the extra long videos. It's happened to me before in the past where the video has crashed. So I'm going to put a pause and then I'll come back with a clean table and we will resume. Okie dokies. Now for the next step, we're going to need our paper trimmer because we're going to cut the A4 piece of paper. We're going to cut this down to 5.5 inches. The 11 side we're going to leave as is, so 5.5 inches. And then I'm going to put this, I could score it here, but I know it's kind of harder to see because it only goes up to 7. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on my longer scoreboard. And again, see, you can save these pieces also to reinforce, so don't throw any of that away. Also, you can use them as mats for the cards. We're going to grab our bone folder and we're going to make 2 scores. Very simple, 5 and 6. So again, I wanted to use the long one so you guys can see this is the 11-inch side. This is the 5.5-inch side. I'm sorry, 5.25. Did I do 5.5? I think I just miscut this. 1 second, guys. Did I say 5.5? Good news is I didn't cut it too short. I sure did. Look at that. 5.25. That's what I meant. Not 5.5. So the good news is, yes, we could still use the same piece. It would have been bad if we would have cut it too short. All right. Good thing I checked. Here we go. 5.25 by 11. We're going to score 2 simple places. 5. So again, I'm putting it on my 5 and scoring. Again, if you need scoreboards, if you need stylus tools, all that is available in the online store. And then we're going to come to 6. So now we're going to score at 6. So 5 and then again at 6. And I always do it twice because I don't want to puncture and you know press too hard. So I'll do it twice lightly. And that gives me a really nice clean fold or score without tearing my paper. Okay, and then we're going to bring that up, line it nice and straight, making sure. And then we're going to bone fold that as well. I'm going to burnish that down, and then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. I glue in my fingers. Don't you hate that? When you could feel the glue, and then it's just like little skins hanging off of your fingers. I always have glue. I've got glue. I've got paint. You know, something is always going on. Okay, so now we've got this. So now this is our base. That is this piece right here. Okay, so this is going to sit inside of here like so, right? Once we close it all up and get it ready to go. Why do I not close it? Because I find that it's much easier to work with it open than to close it and then have to, you know, adhere stuff. This way I can still lay it flat and not have to worry about it at all. By the way, while we have this open, because next we're going to start decorating, we might as well just go ahead and put an X on here. Now you'll notice notch is on my left, right? Flaps are on my right. And I'm going to put an X here. Why am I going to put an X here? Because that's going to tell me I don't need anything for that. I don't want to waste paper. There's no need to waste paper. Same thing with the flaps. I can put an X here. Oh, not the top one. And the bottom, right? Because these are going to get adhered on the inside. See? So we need here, 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 and here, but not the back. That's going to get glued on to here. Okay? And then, of course, yes, all of this we need to make super pretty. Now, let's talk about, again, when you're using that 280 GSM paper, which is what this is, you can hear, well, I hope you can hear it on screen, just how thick and strong that is. However, this, not so much, right? And Ciao Bella is lighter than, it's probably 100 and something. Let's see if they tell us. I don't see it on here, the GSM, but it's definitely lighter than 180 pounds. It is your regular cardstock, almost like this one, right? Good weight, excellent weight, but not as thick as that. So we have a choice. If we are going to, just it's a little gift that we're doing super quick, or we're mass making for maybe a bazaar or something we're selling it, well, then we're good to go. If, however, you're like, you know what, I really want this to be a little sturdier, then we have choices to make. Same thing applies. We can cut chipboard mats and attach them here or here. We can cut reinforcers here. Now remember, we're going to put paper on the inside and on the outside. So do take that into account, that now you've got 3 layers of cardstock on here. Do you need more than that? Probably not. But again, just kind of giving you ideas just in case you feel that you do, especially on the spine piece, right? You can see that this one is really, really strong. But again, I have, you know, 1, 2, 3 layers of paper on there. Since I have my scraps out, why not? Let me see if I have, I'm sure I have something that fits. And if not, we can trim it down and make it fit. Trying to find super skinny. No. Too skinny? Yeah. Somewhere in between. Lord knows I have tons. Okay, well, if we're not going to find something, we're just going to make one. How's that? Because we're going to move on. All right, we'll use that. Oh, here's a smaller one. Again, see, I have enough pieces that if I want to, I can just go ahead and reinforce. Again, you can skip this part if you'd like. We know that this is an inch, so I'm going to go a little less than an inch, maybe like, maybe 7/8. No, you know what? I'm going to go 3/4. Is that straight? I don't think this piece is straight. 3/4. 3/4, and then I don't even have to measure it. I can just kind of eyeball it. I'm going to cut it shorter, obviously, than my spine. I'm going to go with 5. Oh, there we go. I'm going to save that, but not the little one. Oopsie daisy. Sorry. And then we're going to adhere this here. Okay. And that's just going to be my reinforcer for that. And now, guess what? It's as simple as that. Again, the first one always takes a little bit more because I'm explaining it. If once you're like on a roll making these, oh my goodness, they come together so quickly because all you have to do is trace the template and that's it. Pick your papers. So now we're going to get to the decorating part, right? Oh, where's my, see why I love the double sided? Because you've got your silicone on one side and then you've got your ball stylus on the other, and together all in one tool. Okay, that's it. That was like the base construction. How easy is that? Now we're going to pick panels, right? We're going to decorate our box, and that is a matter of preference. So I am going to show you what I have done here because you're working most likely, if you have the kit, with these exact same papers. The other thing I want to mention, it's up to you how far you want to come. You'll notice that this one left like 1/8 of an inch all the way around. You can go smaller, you can go bigger, you can make it fit to size, whatever you want. You'll also notice that I distress the edges, right? It's all nice and distressed. And I did that using my distressing tool. We have 2 different kinds. We've always carried the Tim Holtz brand, but now we have the uniquely creative one, which is pink, and I love it. I just, I have to I already have this one. So I'm kind of stuck with this one. But yeah, the uniquely creative is pink. I love it. It matches like their scissors, and all that stuff. It's so cool. So I distressed my papers after I cut them. And kind of gave it that look. Oh, and then ink up the edges so we could really see how that pops out. So here on this one right here on the base. I'm going to walk you through that in case you're like, if you want to get the exact same look, or if you want to know what papers I chose. Let me see if I can walk you through the whole thing. Let me pull these out. We know that one's there, so I'm not worried. Here on the back, I used the one with the little birdies and butterflies. This one right here. Okay. Let me make some room. Sorry. My computer went to sleep. That means I'm talking too much. Use this one right here. Then I used a scrap piece right here from the one with the flowers, this one right here. So this was the next mat that I used on top of that. So you can see some of the birdies, see? But then you see the floral underneath of that, which is this one. Then I grabbed a scrap piece, just a torn piece of the blue, which is this one. Yep, the one with the little lines. This line is so pretty. It's got little music notes, and all I did was I just tore a piece. See? You can see it's completely torn. And then I use some of the tags. This one's got the little blue bird. I use the doily up here. I use a fussy cut flower, and then another fussy cut bird, and then one of those little banner tags there. I took my heart, which I've now, oh, right here. I took my chipboard heart and I use my alchemy waxes on them, okay? So if you're not familiar with alchemy waxes, they are from Finnabar. Look at me, I had them handy. Yay. Not planned, but that worked out. Okay, here's some of them. So first of all, they smell amazing. I wish it was smell-o-vision because they are truly an amazing product. But it's super simple to use. You do not have to do anything special other than just grab it. All you need is a finger, okay? How's that? Oh, Lordy, I got stuff everywhere. And you simply tap some of it on your finger, okay? In this case, that's a lot. So I'm just going to tap some of it off here. And then, see, you just rub it in. Let me pick a corner. Let me pick this corner up here so you guys can see that up close. Right here. And all I'm going to do is, see, add my little green from my finger on there. And that's all I did to create that gold metallic, patina kind of, cool look that would match with those colors. And they come in all kinds of shades and colors. You can check out our online store. So I probably use something like a vintage gold and maybe a moss green. I don't remember what colors I use, guys, but you can do your own mixes and matches and they are just awesome, right? But no special tools required. Really no dry time. They smell amazing. They are wax, a natural wax with obviously pigments. Put the little, so they are fabulous to work with. Okay. So that's what I did with that. Obviously we have the flower on top, so that was there. You can see it's got the little stems and whatnot. The flower, cluster flower, even comes with the ribbon already on it, so I didn't even have to add that. Then on the inside we've got this paper right here, left over from the birdies. I think it's this one, maybe. Yeah, I think so. Then this little bird, these two little birds on that stump right there with the little Swiss polka dots on the wooden planks. So pretty. And then literally just like scraps for the sides. The back, for the back, I have again featured a little bird on a twig, and on the spine just another leftover with the flowers here at the bottom. So pretty. I think it's a continuation of one of these. And I think that was it. Yeah, I didn't even see, I didn't do the inside of this one. So the birds on a wire here, and then you saw all my leftovers. So if you want to grab your papers and cut them down, again, you can decide how big do you want to cut them? How much of an edge do you want? We know that this is 5 inches, right? And this is 5 inches, obviously. They're the same, and this was an inch. So 5, 5, and 1 is 11. So do you want to cut to size? Do you want to do a 5 by 5 1/4? Go for it. You want to do, you want to take off a 1/8 of an inch, for it, a 1/16 of an inch, and leave a border around it. Do that. And then you'll do the exact same thing for all of these pieces. And then the same thing for here. Whatever you do here, I recommend that you kind of mimic here as well, right? So again, either cut to size or leave an 1/8 of an inch. Or so if this box here is 4 11/16, I can take off an 1/8, I can take off a 1/16, I can cut it exactly to size, etc., right? And since we have the punch, all I have to do is mimic, grab my punch and cut that piece of paper with the exact same punch and create that, right? Or I can trace this one. Since it's open, I can even trace it onto my paper and cut that way. See? And that's why I like leaving it open, guys, because you have the freedom of working with it so much easier. You can, press down on it, like use your bone folder. Once you're here, this panel, you can, use your bone folder on it, not be worried. Whereas if you assemble it first, right? And then I add this paper, then I have to put my hand in here and try and like, not press too hard, to kind of warp my paper. So yeah, it's easier if you work with it open. Okay, so I hope that has helped with those instructions. I am obviously not going to keep you here watching me cut all of these panels. So I'm going to cut them. You're going to cut yours, and then we're going to come back and resume and talk about this as well. Okay, so I'll be right back. You know what I realized? Before I skedaddle and do my cutting, I guess I should show you really quickly the pad. If you guys ever want to see pads in full, join us for our live YouTube sales, because we come here right on our channel live and we do sales and we open up the collections. We show you each page, we talk about them. Sometimes we do demos. So it's a whole lot of fun. And we do those just about weekly, if not multiple, sometimes times a week. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Okay. So maybe you guys can help me pick out. See, this is even going to be perfect. See how this is smaller? And you've got all these freebies here at the bottom. Well, even if we were just to use, oh, that flower matches perfect. Even if we were to cut here, we still have ample paper to cover that. So, this is going to be a challenge. I always laugh and I tell folks, my biggest challenge is not coming up with ideas and projects. My biggest hurdle where I just kind of, you know, become not overwhelmed, but just like I want to do it all. It's too much. It's when it comes to deciding how to decorate, because look, I mean, what page would not look great at this point? What page would not look amazing? We can even add the hummingbird as a focal point, right? And we still have our heart. Of course, we have tons of other chipboard. So since you've seen the heart, I might choose another chipboard from, oh, look at that, from our stash. Look at that side with the blue crackle on it. So you guys can see again, something different. I don't want to bore you with the exact same thing. And since we've just done a walkthrough, golly, that's gorgeous. But they're all beautiful. Yeah, we did a full walkthrough. You've already seen it. Wow. I could do something else. Ooh, look at the houses on the bottom with the hot air balloon. How much of that could we get? Let's see. Again, it's nice that it's cut because you can play around with it. So we would see about that much of the houses like that. That's pretty cool. We could get the hot air balloon and partially the houses. Of course, we could also fussy cut the houses and add some dimensional foam and create some layering. You see? Possibilities, possibilities. Ooh, look at this page. Wow, so cool. Okay, move on, Maddie. We have ephemera, but on the other side, if we do not want to use that, we have this. And those. Oh my gosh, what would you choose? Seriously, if this was you, which one would you choose? How do you choose? Look at this. Of course, all these little journaling cards, we could even make like a little mini pocket, or we could use them to decorate our card fronts. See? Look at the stamps. We could use those to tuck in the front to create our layout. Look at that. So cool. Wow. And that's the B side, like, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know, guys. Good gravy. Well, since they're all beautiful, I guess I'm just gonna pick one and that's that. Like seriously, I gotta get going because, otherwise I'll sit here all day. But you probably have enough to do too. So, I mean, that's not a problem. Oh, look at that. How about featuring that hot air balloon? I love hot air balloons. Look at that. It would look like that and that. So it's like bam. And then maybe we can even cut some of these or have like a little wooden, I mean, we could do something totally different. So many options. Oh, oh, look at those colors. Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, so now you've seen the pad. Hopefully we still have it in stock. It comes in 12 by 12 and it's got all kinds of other awesome stuff to go with it, obviously. Ephemera and all kinds of stuff. So stamps, take a look in the online store, but I'll be back with my cut panels. You go ahead and cut yours. Don't glue anything down and just meet me back here. Okay. And then we can do the adhering together. Fair? Oh, the other thing is these are pretty straightforward. Panel, 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 right? So in and out for all those. For these, we already put our X's. So we know that we've got, we need piece for here, one for here, one for here, one for here. And then for here is what I was going to say. You saw that I left that other one blank. You can leave it blank. If you want to be totally like, extra, 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 then if you have little leftovers, you can also, attempt this. I would probably focus mostly on this right here. I wouldn't even focus on this. Remember, if you are going to focus on that, you want to make sure that you are very, very thorough when it comes to gluing because you do not want anything catching. So here I have decorated them, but every single time you go in and out of here, of course, once this is filled out, it's gonna be a little bit more. See, every single time you go in and out, you have the potential for this to catch down here. So if you are going to decorate it, again, we're not gluing anything anyway, but I'm just letting you know if you're going to cut those panels, be prepared to pay extra close attention to that flap. Okay. All right, let's go. Okay, I think I've got all of my panels cut. Nothing is glued. You can see I've even paper clipped it just to kind of show you uh, what I've chosen. They're interchangeable at this time. So at this point, I can still interchange. Remember, these four, 1, 2, 3, 4, right, are the same size. So I can interchange them if I want. The same thing with the spines. I can put this one on the inside and that one on the outside. So all of this is interchangeable. I'm going to give you measurements just in case you want to jot these down really quick. Now again, I left a small, very small, I think it's an eighth of an inch all the way around. So mine are 4 7/8. So, oh, sorry, I have to give you the height. So 4 7/8 wide, because there is an orientation to this. Keep that in mind. We're cutting your papers by 5 1/8 in height. Okay. So you're going to cut 4 of those. Again, you can see that I've left a very, here, let me take off the paper clip and show you the size of blue that I'm going to have showing. See, it's like a 1/16 of an inch that I have all the way around. So I've left a smaller border on this one than I had done. Wait. Oh, yeah. Oh, God, that is so pretty too. But no, I want that hot air balloon. I'm pretty sure. On this one, where this one, I left like an eighth of an inch. Okay. And then my spine pieces, are 7/8 of an inch by, of course, the height is the same. So we said it was 5 1/8. Okay. Two of those, one for the inside, one for the outside. That will complete the outside little folio. Then for here, I've done a couple of things. Number one is I decided to reinforce this just because I had an extra piece of chipboard. I threw it on there. I will make a point to show you the fact that you notice it's short, right? I could have just cut it the same height and I could have notched it and all this stuff. But then here's what happens. Every single time, again, you always have to remember the flaps. Every time this flap will go in and out, it's going to potentially hit the slip. See, like my nail's doing. So by cutting it below this line, we know that this is not going to catch on anything. See, it's always just going to close and close. If I put it up here, all the way up here, this could catch up here all the time. So just keep that in mind if you are going to reinforce it with some leftover chipboard, that you cut below your flap. Okay, that's the only change I made to that. Then I cut my panel. So remember, no panel here. We only need one for the front. So I've cut this one to 4 5/8 in width. Again, 4 5/8. And then the height should be the same. Yep, it's a square. 4 5/8. Okay, got that. Haven't notched it yet. Will do so. Okay, you can see that's a pretty nice fit on this one. I left like barely anything because, again, I'm trying to reinforce that. That's why I decided to do this too. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you're super ambitious, you can go for 5, right? So I've cut my 4 pieces. They're all the same. And they are 5/8 of an inch by 4 5/8. Okay, 4 of those. That will cover those. Again, if you want to do the inside of the flap, go for it. I did on this one. I even did this piece right here. I don't plan to do it for this one. I mean, I might change my mind, right? Once I look at it, I might be like, oh yeah. Now, we haven't adhered anything, right? Because we have to decide now, do we want to ink this? The other thing we have to do is we've got to do our closure. So you'll notice in this case, the sari silk goes behind all of the panels, including the spine. So it is hidden all the way around. The same thing with this one. It is hidden behind the box. Okay. So you also need to go and pick out your trims. So the next thing to do is if you're going to ink up your edges, ink it up, as well as if you're going to ink up any of this, which I want to ink up in here, right? That chipboard reinforcement. If I would have used black, it wouldn't have been a problem. But since I decided to go with the craft, well, kind of stands out like a little sore thumb. Not too bad, but maybe just ink it up here. Actually, now that I look at it, it's really not bad. But ink up and then decide on what trim you're going to use for both closures, for the front as well as for the inside holder. You can decide to use the same one. You can mix and match like I did. So whatever you have at hand will work. All right. And oh, approximately how long? That would be helpful, right? How long of a trim do we have here? Let's use you have a yard here. So this is 1 yard, the outside. And the inside, we've got 31 inches. Okay. So 1 yard for the one that wraps around the outside. And what did I just say? 32 inches? I forgot already. Oh my goodness. Yes, 32 inches for the box holder, the stationery holder. Okay, let's go gather that, ink it up, and then again, if you're going to ink up all of this too, as well as all your panels, and we'll be ready to adhere. Okay, so I have gone all the way around and I have lightly inked my little cover, all sides where I need it to be, also on the inside parameter. And I've also done all of my papers. I've also done my papers for the pocket. I've cut my notch. I have inked where it needed to be, right? Obviously, we're not going to see the back, so I'm not interested, but we will kind of see these sides as well as, of course, our little lids here. Okay, so that's all been inked as well. I've used, by the way, walnut stain. And then I've grabbed some trims that I think will go well. I'm not sure if I'll end up using them. I don't even know if they're long enough, to be honest. Oh yeah, there you go. That's a yard. But I thought the colors would go really well. I got that one, and then I got this one. And so I think this one is short. Ooh, that is a little shorter than need be. So there's always a fix though. So don't worry, because if this is too short, but I really, really love it. And I mean, there's a lot of extra on here. Yeah, this is long enough. I leave a lot of extra because again, I struggle with my hands. But yeah, that's perfect. That's fine. Should I not have enough, you know, it'd be cute also. Oh my goodness, how cute would it be to do the knot up here? I don't know why I didn't think of that. That's so cute because then it also, oh, it'll come out the top. I love that. I love that. I like that a lot better than, see? But let me give you the tip. So let's say this was too short. Well, all you have to do is cut and you just glue from, you don't need all this piece right here, right? You could just cut a short piece from here to here and then cut another piece from the bottom, and then you save yourself all this extra trim. So that's another way to maximize your trim as well. If you have a piece that you're in love with, but you're like, oh, you know, I don't want to, I want to use it. Well, there's another way. There's always a workaround, right? Okay, so now we are ready. If you are committed, you know, you've got everything you need, we are ready to start putting these things together. Again, I'm going to adhere all of my panels, but I am not going to, which one was the longer one? This one. I am not going to glue my box on there. Again, the reason why, well, when we are done, let's keep working. It just makes it that much easier to be able to work with a flat journal, with a flat cover, than one that is already got a box in it. So we're not going to see that right there. I've folded it in half and kind of just pinched it to create a crease. That gives me an idea where my half is. And I'm just going to, and again, you can go up higher, you can go lower, depending on your image or what you want to do. You know, if there's something that, you know, a different idea that you might have, then you just go ahead and do that. You could also use your score tape or your red line tape to do this, because that's always nice to kind of just hold it in place. But if not, we can just run a bead of, again, this is going to be underneath a panel, so it's not going anywhere, but we can run a bead of our adhesive. And I always like to kind of do this to make sure it looks about even. That looks pretty good. So we're going to add adhesive here. Gonna bring this over and we're gonna line it up by making sure that our folio is nice and even, and then that our trim is even as well. Okay, again, I'm tapping it on the table and then creating that level, right? Okay, making sure it's nice and level. At this point, it doesn't really matter whether this is the front or this is the back, but we're gonna just start adhering panels. We've got the, were these my inside or outside? These are my outside panels. So see how much easier it is to just open this up and work this way? You do not have to worry about, a little bubble there. I do not have to worry about trying to finagle with it in all kinds of, you know, contorted ways. I'm going to switch my glasses out because, again, I've got my new glasses and they're sliding down my nose. And that is annoying. Let me switch these out. Where are my old ones? Okay. Not as clear, but at least they're not sliding. I can't wait to see yours. Make sure you guys post them in the Facebook group, okay? If you're not part of the Facebook group, well, you need to be. It's Spectrum Art Creation Friends. Don't forget the friends at the end. And make sure that when you request to join, that you answer, ooh, that's so pretty, that you answer the questions. That's just so we can make sure, you know, we keep any kind of like trolls out of there, or it's a closed group. So it's pretty exclusive in the sense that we make sure that, you know, it's a safe place for you to share what you're working on, your questions, participate in games and challenges. Yes, we do even gift card giveaways in the group. So you definitely want to come on over and join us there, but answer the questions. It's just like, you know, just to make sure you are a crafter kind of thing. It's not like trivia or math questions. Lord knows I wouldn't pass, right? Okay, so get a failing grade. You are not accepted to the group. You got an F. Make sure you're, yeah, I see the text, right? Yes. And we're not going to see much of this anyway. So really for this, for the right-hand side, you can pick your least favorite panel. If there is such a thing in this paper line, there really wasn't. But if there is such a thing, you can pick your least favorite piece, because we're going to see very little of that. It does, of course, act like a reinforcement. You know, sometimes I hate wasting paper. I love my paper. There's so many beautiful collections, right? And I love them all. And so I hate wasting. So a lot of times I tell you guys, you know, if you want to not waste, because all we're going to see is a little bit of the frame, then you can actually just cut out and then save that center. But in this case, I don't want to do that because this is going to act again as a reinforcer. You can already see how thick this is starting to shape up, right? And this one's going to have this on top. So maybe we could have spared it, but you know what? There it is. And I think it's going to be great because it's going to act again as a reinforcer. So it's going to be just wonderful to use a whole panel. Oh, I was like, what just happened? This way. Yes, this way. That was funny. I was like, wait, did I just cut that wrong? I'm like, no, they were all the same size. So in my head, I had like, you know, 5 minutes worth of conversations in 30 seconds. Oh my goodness. I was like, wait, what? No, I measured them. They were 4 panels and they're all the same. This morning I was asking Bernie for a knob because I was working on this gorgeous mini dresser that we did with a class that we had here at Spectrum Art Creations with Sarah Alcombedas, the designer and artist. She works also with Stamperia. She designs a lot of their paper lines. Well, I was cracking up because Bernie's handing me something, and all of a sudden I just busted laughing, like, wow, you know. And he's like, what? Like, what did I do? He hadn't done anything. I was having inner monologue. And I forgot that I was having inner monologue and just busted out laughing. He looked at me like, oh my God, you are nuts. Okay, now we can go ahead and glue our panels, because when we glue our trim, it's going to go here on the back, right? So let's put that there so we don't forget that's where that goes. And that's going to get sandwiched here, okay? So again, to work super easy, we are going to open this up because there's no sense in working hard. We're going to add our panels first, and then we're going to close the box. So the box closing is going to be the very last thing that we're going to do. These are so fun. Think of all the themes and all the different stationery sets that you can make. You can make them for children. You can make them for, I mean, anybody from ages, 6 to 106 would enjoy one of these. You can make them for any holiday, whether it's Christmas or Halloween or Valentine's Day or, you know what? I think my notch. Oh boy, hang on. Nope, left before I glue. I think I can. Madison, just 1 second, baby. I just glued this wrong. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I just glued this on wrong. Or I notched it wrong, one or the other. I might have notched it wrong. Look at that. Ooh, it's off by a smidge. So obviously, I'm not going to have that little lip on this side. Yeah, see, I kind of put it on a little crooked. No biggie. Again, it's not like anyone sitting there with a magnifying glass and looking to see that you missed by a 16th, if that, of an inch. I mean, it's a hair, look. It's a hair. It's an absolute hair. No one's going to see that. So don't sweat the small stuff. Enjoy your crafting, not the hairs. Bigger problems in this world. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to glue one here. And I purposely pick stuff that doesn't really have orientation. It's just like gears and, so it doesn't really matter. I can pick whatever side I want. Upside down, sideways. I could have cut this a million ways. If you have paper that does not have any text orientation, well, then, that's even easier, right? All right. So then one on this side. Does it matter which one? Not really. How about, no, those are gears. Those are so cool. I think I want those at the top because they're like gorgeous. Beautiful. Blues and rusts. Such a pretty combination. I love blue anyway. It's now my second favorite color. I've always been a pink girl. Always been a pink girl. And now I am more of a blue girl. Explain that one. We need one for the bottom. I think I think I'm missing one. We'll have to cut another panel. Yeah. Unless I wasn't thinking of doing anything on the inside. That might be what I was thinking. And that is probably it, actually. Yeah. I think I even mentioned that I'm not going to do anything on the inside. That I had done some on the other one, but not on this one. Again, different looks. Play with it. Do one. Do your prototype. See what you like. If you like it and you're like, well, the next one I'm going to do. And then fill in the blank, right? And then we're going to put one here at the bottom. Oh, I just thought of a super cool idea. I just finished doing a class with Graphic 45 in which we did the coolest album. So pretty with the Alice, the new line. And which, of course, I'm going to be reteaching you guys. And I just thought of something super cool that we could do. So if this bothers you, right? If that blue bothers you, which it does not bother me, I think it actually adds a really nice accent to it. See? Then great. If it bothers you and you want to add a panel, then all you have to do is, again, see, this is why I leave everything open. All you have to do is grab, where is my decorative paper? Okay. And I should have some smaller pieces, like, see, maybe like that one. All you need to do, oopsie, is decide which orientation. Does it matter? No, not really. We could even go for something like this. Oh, it's like perfect size. Wow, the width is like exactly what we need. All right, something like that. Something like that. I'm going to use our trimmer really quick. We can see where this point ends, the same thing as here, right? And we probably actually need to go a little shorter so that we have a little bit of a gap there. Now you can cut it by hand or you can use your SACs precision angle tool. These right here, right? If you want to get it like if you're afraid that you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, I'm just going to cut this wrong. Well, you can use your precision angle tool. But if you are like, yeah, it's just a small cut, which it is, then just kind of follow the line on the inside. I'm not sure what's going on over there. Do I want to know? Probably not. Those of you, Madison, those of you who have kids, you know what I'm talking about. You're like, I'm better off not knowing. And there, see, that's as simple as that. We have that. Well, now I've cut it. Might as well use it. So let's ink it up real quick. I didn't mind it the other way, but I've cut it, so let's use it. And again, what you want to do is you want to kind of cut it on the inside of your trace line and also, you know, kind of cut before your lines because guess what? That's going to give you that little edge. Oh, are you playing with markers, Madison? Is that what I hear? Inks. I'm sorry. I knew I heard something. Oh, no, I like that side better. Yeah, I like this side better now. Well, then, let's just ink it up real quick. You know what? Now I have both of them inked. So I am going to check them both out. Decide which one I like better. Once it's on there, I might change my mind again. So this will look like either this. It's kind of continuous though. It's actually kind of perfect. Or do we want to create some contrast and ooh, look, now we kind of got that compass rose or whatever it is, a gear in there. Oh, that's a tough choice because it kind of matches this. See, circle, circle, or continuous. Okay, I think I'm going to go with continuous. That was a tough choice though. I'm just going to make an executive decision and go because if not, it's going to be a while. I'll sit here and go, but look, but yeah. So no buts, just adhere and move on. I want to make another one. I can. All right, there we go. Perfect. It looks machine made. Okay, now that's all done. There is nothing else that we need to decide. If there is, stop, take care of it, decide, because now we're going to seal the box. Now, when we close this box, it's not the end of the world, by the way. I mean, I'm making it sound like it's gloomsday. It's not, but it just makes it harder to work with afterwards. Why work harder when we can work smarter? That's the whole thing, right? That we know is going to go here. We are now ready to close the box. So we're going to be adhering where we have our X's. So this X and this X right here. I have to watch this video. The other day I noticed my camera shaking, so something is making my camera shake and I want to make sure it's not happening. All right, I'm going to lightly press down once I kind of get a good, once it looks really nice, I'm going to press down. And when I'm fully committed and happy, which I think I am, I'm going to pinch down a little tighter here. Then I'm going to grab my bone folder, making sure that that is nice and taut. I'm going to insert, oh, look at what I've done now. I opened up the side. It's okay. We'll do this and then we'll do the side. I just wanted to make sure that this was really nice and flush. So I'm tapping it on the table to make sure it's flush. And we'll just redo this one. Actually, you know what? While I'm here, let me really press down on it. Oh, sorry, I'm off screen. See, I'm just inserting my bone folder all the way in. And securing that. Again, nice and flush. So now we'll do this one. And it might be easier to do one side at a time, you know? Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Put that in and close it. And we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to tap it on the table, make sure it's nice and squared. And once we are happy, I hope I'm in frame. We're going to give that a good close. I think we've got good contact. So now we're going to rub that in, try and get as far in as we can. Okay. And that thing is built to last. I mean, now it's like super, super, super strong. Now, to make sure you get your bow in the right place, you're going to create the bow. Make sure that your trim is not crooked. Again, we've got some extra here, and that's fine. I need it. If you want to do it this way, the way I did the original one, great. If you want to, and you like that idea better, where this is now at the top, let me make sure. Does it impede anything? Is it going to be a problem? So I'm going to pinch it back here with my hand. I'm going to open this and think about whether that would be a problem. No, I don't think so. I think it would be easy enough. Right? I'm going to do it again. Sometimes you have to, you know, think about it a little more than others because you want to make sure that you're not going to go, oh no, I didn't realize that's not going to open, or no, I can't get to XYZ, right? So since we feel pretty strong about that, what I'm going to do for now, actually, you know what? We are ready, aren't we? I don't think there's anything else that we need to wait on. Why isn't this thing moving? Come on, move. There we go. I think we're ready to adhere this down. I really do. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to distribute. See that? I purposely did it so that you do have a nice bit going all the way around. Okay, distribute it evenly. And when you're happy, we're going to adhere. Make sure it's centered. That looks pretty centered to me. Okay, like that. We are going to add glue everywhere. I gotta remember not to lean on my table so I'm not shaking you guys in case it is shaking. I can't remember what I was doing, but I looked up and I was like, whoa, my camera's shaking. So I gotta ask the guys what's going on because something must be touching somewhere that's making the camera shake. Okay, once again, making sure that looks nice and centered. And then I'm going to bring it down. And Nuvo and our glitter glue will give you a few seconds to maneuver. And then that's about it, right? So kind of put it in position. And then we have got our awesome stationery box. See? And again, once you've done this once, the rest are going to be, that's too much. We're going to have to trim that down. That was way overzealous on that. So, oh my goodness, I love the fact that the little bow is up here now. I simply adore that. That is so stinking cute. Piece of chipboard. Okay, now we've gotten our box done. You guys can make a million of these now because you know how it works and how easy it is to make. The next thing to do is to fill in this pocket. Now, for that, super simple. We are going to be using, of course, some card bases. So our card bases are going to be, I think 4.5 is a little tight. I would do 4 1/4. So let me write that down on a sticky. Here we go. I would do 4 1/4, and that's going to give us a lot of room on each side just so things can slide in easily. So 4 1/4 is going to be the width, right? And then for our height, we're going to do about 4 1/2. We'll do one. I'll do one and see how that goes. How's that? Actually, you know what? Let's see if I have a piece of, didn't I have more glue in here? I thought I grabbed 2 pieces. I was so sure I did. Well, I couldn't find my other piece of, you know what? Instead of white, let me go get some green cardstock. I mean, not green. Cream. I meant to say cream because I think cream, see that off-white is going to go perfect with that. So let's cut one. This is, again, just regular cardstock. To the side. Put this off to the side. And let's cut one and see how that fits. Now, we're going to have to double it up. So probably the shortest side is going to be kind of perfect, isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's like perfect. Wow. That was genius, Maddie. 4 1/2. See, sometimes things just work out perfect. I'm sure when I did this originally, there was a reason for everything that I did. So I'm pretty sure I realized that I could probably get 2 out of 1 sheet. And that was the whole plan. I guarantee you. It's been so long since I created this project. It was before Christmas. So probably at least 2-3 months, if not longer. So it's been a little bit. Okay. So we can get 2 out of 1A4, a regular piece of cardstock. And then we have a little piece of paper there still left. And these should fit in here pretty nicely. We need to put them down. Look at that. Perfect. See, it's not going to fight us here on the sides. It's not going to be tight. And the height is also perfect for us to reach in there and grab them. Okay, now we know this is the size of the bases that are going to go in the stationery set. Of course I did that on purpose. I just remembered. And then because I did them to go with the dies that we sold. So your die might be different because when we sold these kits during our live sales, we let you guys pick. We thought it was fun that you guys could pick your die. So we have several different versions of this. Actually, we have all kinds of different versions. We even have different sizes. We've got stencils to go with them. So yeah, we've got all kinds of stuff. Now we're going to grab our main die, right? This is the main die, and that's going to create the mat for our cards. If you're working with a little birdie, you guys remember I showed you, I don't know where they went now, but I had those scraps, remember? Oh, geez, where'd it go? These. By now, you would have all of this left over, or something similar to this, depending on what papers you use to decorate. So now we can go ahead and cut out some bases, right, from here. And then we're going to use the next piece, which is going to go ahead and cut the outer mat. For that, you can, and you don't even have to use your decorative papers, by the way. You could use just cardstock for this. You could use a frame cardstock for that, just solids. And then for all the little tiles that are going to go here, these are your decorative pieces. So these you could do with your decorative papers. All of this right here, right? Like we had talked about. And that's how you're going to decorate your card fronts. And then of course you've got your gorgeous little doilies that you're going to fussy cutout, and you're just going to pop one of those there in the corner or wherever you want it. You also have all maybe a little birdie looking this way and the doily going that way, etc., etc. So, and oh, and we still have these, and we still have these. So you can do all kinds of fun decorative or decorations. This is all left over after I've decorated the front cover and all that stuff, right? So so you should have plenty to choose from. Of course, I'm switching gears because I'm using a different line. And so we're gonna do, and so we're gonna use the other paper that I have here. See, there's all kinds of bigger pieces left too. So I'm going to cut these out so you guys don't have to sit here and watch me. Oh, there's more paper here. We forgot. See? I'm going to die cut this stuff out so you guys don't have to sit there and watch me die cutting that. Just know that I'm going to be using all of that. Like all of these little papers is what I'm going to be using. See? See these? Look. Look at that. See? And these are going to make super cool cards. So I have the bigger pieces I probably will save. No, I might need some of them because I think that we can fit. Well, shall we see how many we think we can fit in here without it becoming cumbersome? Man, you can even put a little pen in there if you wanted to, you know? That is so cool. Or maybe some postage stamps, you know, like the little sheets of postage, so that that person also has like forever stamps. Here in the United States, we have what's called forever stamps. And so you buy them, and whatever price you pay for them at the time that you purchase, they're good forever. Alexa, stop. Sorry, guys, I have a timer. Those stamps are good forever. So, so you can mail them, you know, anywhere in the US, not international. Oh, we do have Forever International too, by the way. So you pay one fee, and you know that you can use them 5 years from now, still, no matter, you know, what the postage price may be, you're still paying the same. So you can even include some forever stamps, and you'll know they'll be good forever. What were we doing? I forgot, guys. We were doing the 4.5, right? Right? Yes, 4.5. Jeez, Maddie. You're laughing at me? Yeah. Too much talky. But, you know, I just realized friends from overseas might not know that. You know, that's like something that might just be here in the US. I don't know. Does anybody else in the world have that? Where you pay for the stamp and the stamp is good forever. So even if you pay, I don't know, let's say you pay $2.50 for a Forever International stamp. Again, I do not know the prices because we haven't bought stamps in quite a while. But say it was $2.50 for the stamp, and it's a Forever International stamp. Even if I go to mail a package 10 years from now, and the price for postage has doubled, it is now $5 for mailing a letter to France. Well, I'm still using my forever stamps, so I've kind of locked in that rate, which is, it's just pretty cool. Now, why haven't I bought stamps? Because for about probably a good portion of 5 years, Madison went on this stamp collecting kick. Now, when I say stamp collecting, I don't mean like people collect stamps, right? I mean, she just loves stamps because they come out with like Scooby-Doo ones and Christmas ones, and what other ones have collected, Madison? I don't even know. She's collected all. You have Mr. Rogers, right? Disney. So she just loved going to the post office just to buy postage stamp because she loved the images, right? Butterflies. So I had a small fortune. You have Halloween. Yeah, I have a small fortune in stamps. Okay, so that is really good. Look at this. I have plenty of room. Now, could I keep going? Yes. Now remember, you're going to add your mats, which is going to create bulk, right? So don't go too crazy and then not be able to shove them in there. I've got 2 4, 6. And I think that's good, right? Half a dozen is a decent amount. We're going to decorate those. And then we are going to see how that looks. If we have room for 2 more, guess what? No big deal. Super easy to just cut some, you know, some card bases. So we'll cut some more. So let's see where we go with this, okay? I'll be back with a lot of these like cut out, like all of my dies. How's that? Oh, wait, no, I can't. That was my, oh, I got to pick up. So that was my alarm, my reminder to go live for the live sale. So I'm going to pick all the stuff up and yeah, I'll see you hopefully at the sale. If you have never joined us for a live sale, do come and join us. But we'll pick it up probably tomorrow. Tomorrow I will have all this, I'll get up in the morning, cut all these out for us, and then we will reconvene, okay? And then we'll finish it up then. So that's like part, well, for me, it's going to be part 2. For you guys, it's just going to be a fraction of a second pause, but I will be back and we will reconvene with making or finishing up our pocket. Okay, I'll see you guys in 2 seconds, but more importantly, hopefully I will see you guys at the live for some amazing products such as these, such as these, such as class kits, and so much more. Okay, so I am back and I have finished all of what I think will be the cards. I'm pretty sure. So we had our bases, right? Remember, we went with 6 because we think that's a really good size. I've cut out all of my dies to cut out the little squares, the rectangles, and the even smaller squares from the leftovers, all those like leftover strips. Then I've cut out the stitched, I guess, inner die. Let's see if I can show you the stitching. There you go. So stitching from black cardstock. I had some leftover cream, so I created some additional mats. And then I figure brown is a pretty neutral color. And then just kind of looking at, you know, the colors that we went with, I think brown will go very well. Plus we used it for inking and distressing and all that stuff. So I'm just going to stick with very basic colors. The blue and all that is going to come from here. And then these are my little leftover squares from, you know, when we cut those out. So, you know, we'll save them and, you know, I'm sure use them for something else. They'll be awesome to create little tiles or spray and, you know, make additional cards. Actually, some of the Lisa Horton flash paste would be awesome on these because they just show like amazing on black. So maybe I'll use some of those on these and then just do the same process and create another set of cards just to have for something else. So here is my plan. I'm going to put this here just to kind of show you. Oh, let me give you measurements in case you want to do the same thing. So give me 2 seconds. Okay, so 4 1/4 was our width by 4 1/2 tall, right? Then I just cut a panel to kind of map that at 4 by 4 1/8. Okay. Then, like I said, I had some leftovers. I did a 3 1/2 by 3 1/2 because I figure 1/8 of an inch was not going to make any difference whatsoever. So that's going to go there. And then these, of course, were just the die set. Again, your dies might be different, so I might just be giving you measurements for no reason because yours might be bigger or smaller, but you'll get the idea, something like that. It's just, you know, just something to put there. And then these, we'll just kind of randomly pick some to fit in here. Oh, wait, I need another long one. There, something like that. So it'll create a cute little tile. I was also thinking I could move this up some more like that and then just leave enough room here, a blank for a sentiment. But then I thought, no, because you know what? We can also put a little sentiment here, right? like in the middle. So say for example, actually here, let me use one of these little black tiles. You know, if it said happy birthday or for you, you know, we can always just put them there and they'll look amazing too, right? Or up here or down here. So we'll have places to place that. So I'm just going to leave them very neutral, just like this. No sentiments, no nothing. And then depending on what the recipient wants to do or the occasion that I want to send it for, Happy Father's Day or whatever, I can just add the sentiments at that time. Okay, so there you go. It's as simple as that. I'm going to put that together and then, or all of them together, and then I'll come back and we will look at the final walkthrough. And we are done. Here is our finished project. I haven't done any embellishments on the front. I think I'm going to use one of the metal placards on here, etc. So I'm not done. I'll still have to obviously decorate something on the cover. You don't have to at all. It looks super pretty the way it is, but I think it needs maybe you know, some corners and then a plate here in the front. So I'll work on that after, but I wanted to show you just how beautiful this is. I mean, this line is just to die for, right? I probably need to shorten these a little bit, but I'll do that after. And so when we open it now, we have a super strong case, right? Which is great because we have added, of course, as I mentioned to you, once you add paper plus the cardstock plus the other paper, you end up with 3 layers and it's really strong. On this side, I've got the hot air balloon. The spine's got some great elements as well. The box sides are all decorated and super sturdy. Here in the front, we've got that paper, super gorgeous. I love that. It's like a compass rose or something. And of course, all kinds of like little torn bits. Love. Then we have our flap, which will open and reveal our cards, which are awesome because all we've done is we've used our scraps and they're all just, I mean, super cool, all super unique. Let me bring them up so you guys can get an idea. They're all different. They're all just, you know, no two are alike because they're all made with scraps. Okay. Of course, I still have to make the ones for the original box, which I haven't finished as well. That one, at least I did decorate the front, this one right here. But I do have to make the cards for the inside, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? If you did, won't you please be sure to leave a like, excuse me, give it a thumbs up, and also leave us a comment. Let us know what line are you using. I mean, if you got the kit, of course, you're going to have this line to work with, but maybe you're also planning on making a second one. And if you are making a second one, I love to know what other lines you're thinking of perhaps using, because you just might inspire me to do the same, right? To make another one because these sure are fun and they're so easy to make. Nope, I still need to trim it some more. Let me just kind of look at it. Yeah, look at that. Quite a big difference. Okay, there we go. I knew something looked wonky, so we'll fix that and not have all that extra. There we go. Much prettier. So yes, of course, I have to make the cards for this one. So I'll be sure to go back and do that. I love using the sari silk though. I just love all those awesome threads that it creates. So whichever version you have created, make sure you leave us a comment. Let us know if you enjoyed it. Also, give it a thumbs up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave some more videos here at the end that I think you'll really like. So click on those and we'll get even more inspiration and continue crafting along. I'll see you there.